What's up, everybody? I'm Lauren for Dubious.org, and I'm here with Gripp, rapper and poet. Let's start off by finding out how you started off rapping and
Whew.
such.
Okay. Well, I started rapping when I was 11 or 12, like fifth or sixth grade, basically just because people were listening to rap and I thought it'd make me cool. It failed miserably on that account, but as it turns out, it's also a great means of self-expression.
So, what came first, rapping or poetry? Sound like rapping, kind of.
No, poetry and then rapping and then slam poetry.
Okay.
So I was writing page poems before I started rapping.
Okay.
It's just like fourth grade, like really crappy, terrible page poems.
Your raps could be seen as a bit controversial. What was your main motivation to go towards that part of rap rather than the mainstream?
I'm super suburbanite, so I've never really been a gangster rapper, obviously. Recently, I've been getting very into the atheist and skeptic communities, and so that's informing a lot of my worldview, and so it seemed natural to express that through my music. So that's what this new CD is about, a lot of skeptical themes on that. I want to make a point of saying that it's not just that, because I think very strongly that there are things that we can know scientifically and prove and demonstrate, but there's also a very big subjective element to life, and that's just the emotional, personal stuff. And so I didn't want to completely overlook that. So this album is kind of about the intersection between those two things.
So your raps include like issues about social justice, political, and religious. Which one do you think is the most important issue?
Gonna have to go with the science. I think that there's a lot of validity in choosing to talk about a lot of issues, but we all kind of pick the one that appeals to us. So that's why I rap about science, because that's what I like. That being said, I think that there's a good case to be made for critical thinking being one of the most, if not the most, significant problem that humanity is facing. And I think that we do a pretty poor job of arming people with the skills to defend themselves against pseudoscience and misinformation. Lack of critical thinking skills plays into, the controversies we're having about education, the controversies we're having about, what is morally right to do. I think that a lot of other problems that people work on or people, are trying to solve are at their root critical thinking problems.
So when you're writing lyrics, what makes you either think of it more as poetry or more as something you would want to rap, or are they one and the same usually?
That's a really good question. I guess my rap and my poetry tend to deal with topics in kind of different ways. My rap, it tends to be much more direct and expositional, whereas my poetry is a lot more abstract and imagistic. I'm trying to cross the two. My rap songs tend to be more, when they are concept driven, they tend to be more like, I've got this, actually, before I say this, am I allowed to swear? I don't know what the, okay. Yeah, so I've got this song on the album called E and F, which stands for eat and fuck, and so there's two verses on it. One is, this drawing an allegory between life and food, and the other one's drawing an allegory between life and sex. More of a bomb on a bus concept where this is the sentence, this is what the song is about, kind of. Some of my poems don't really have that, very direct to the point concept. So.
Gotcha. So tell us more about slam poetry. What exactly is slam poetry?
Well, slam poetry was invented in the 80s, and the goal was basically to get the general public involved in poetry, get people writing, and also partially to expose people who might not otherwise see poetry to some poetry and to some words and to some self-expression. To do that, basically we hold frequent performances of poetry. Often they're open sign-up, so anybody can walk in and step up on stage and say what is meaningful to them or perform. So they pick people out of the audience and they just give them scorecards, and people go up and read poems or do performances, and they say, go ahead and score that however whatever you think it deserves, and then whoever gets the most points at the end of the night wins.
So what other rappers or poets have you collaborated with that you would like to give a shout out to now?
Okay, lots of people. Okay, well, first of all, Great and Square, who is Mr. Atheist Rapper. If you go on Google and search Atheist Rapper, he's probably the guy that'll come up. I did a song with him called Speak to Him, which was originally not on Head in the Cloud, but on my album before that, Grassnap. And then it's also on his latest album, The Kardashev Scale. I've got a friend from high school named Jack of Cozy. He's awesome. He just came out with a double mixtape called Cushion Snow Day, and I'm on like 7 of those songs, and so that's pretty much the only reason you should listen to it, obviously. I did a song with MC Brooks last year maybe, called The Arc, and that was good. I really liked my verse for that. I mean, it's just a million people, like all the time I'm doing collaborations, so.
Can you do a little freestyle for us?
No, I can't. I don't freestyle. Everyone is always harassing me to learn how to freestyle because they're like, it's such an important skill for a rapper for basically exactly this situation, I presume. I will rap, but I can't freestyle.
So can you give us a snippet of a rap then?
Yes, that
okay,
I can do.
awesome.
I can definitely do that. Am I on now? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. While these other rappers prattle on how they want to battle more beef than a cattle farm, I'm on the ladder, y'all. And best believe when I get to the top, I'm gonna drop like an atom bomb. What's the matter, y'all? I'm sorry, you gotta go while I reprogram the rap game like my Java code. You can hit the deck while I rock the boat. I head to the parking lot of a Waka Flocka show to rock and knock his flow, lock and load. That's the craziest trap. How these gun metaphors got associated with rap. They put gangster rappers up on a pedestal, yo. But if I code, I'm a niche rapper who never could blow. It's not irrevocable, though. Inevitably, we could raise the ceiling. I'm just letting them know I got a better approach. So if incredibly slowly, I'm headed for healing. I got a medical coat.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That was great.
That's what I got.
Tell us where we can find your music.
Head in the Cloud. It's now available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Music, Rhapsody, eMusic, Spotify, and from my website, glasseyeballs.com, you can buy physical copies. Please go there and buy them because, you know, I'd like to make my money back that I spent on it. So that would be greatly helpful.
Thank you so much again for coming and talking with us and for rapping.
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching out there, everybody, and be sure to check out dubious.org and Gripp's awesome albums. Now point to the camera and say dubious with me.
Dubious.
Yes.
Hooray. That was absurd.